What's up guys, it's the FPL Scotsman here and welcome back to another FPL video, and today we're going to be giving our reactions to Game Week 18. I'm going to show you guys how I did in Game Week 18 and we are going to look ahead to Game Week 19, which is only a few days away. I think the deadline's on Saturday. So yeah, I mean there's a lot to look at, and so we basically have tomorrow to think about it and then Saturday's the deadline. So it's a quick turnaround for such an important game week. It obviously is the double game week, so I will be going through what my transfer plan is and what my team's going to be looking like next week, and how my chip strategy's changed because of the recent postponements and fixture rearrangements and so on. But before we get into the video, just to remind you that I'm on Twitter, FPL Scotsman. I tweet pretty regularly, give my team selection and all that stuff, and I will notify when videos will be live on there as well, and also to the YouTube channel as well. If you can follow me on Twitter, remember to hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading. It will be the day after the end of a game week, most of the time, and obviously the same day as a deadline as well, but that was only for the free hit because that was a final draft. Usually I don't do those for regular game weeks, but the free hit was a week after the previous video and my team was totally different, so I made the video for that as well. So remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and let's get into Game Week 18. And I'm just going to say it out there, I don't think any free hitters, I'd be surprised if you're a free hitter and the game week went pretty well for you. To be honest, because I think most of the players in the free hit template, they didn't do amazing. There was a lot of players that did decent, but it could have been a lot better than it was. So I'm just going to bring up my team for this week. It should be that there. Yeah, okay. Yep, it's on here. Okay. So yeah, this is my team for this week. Not great. We did end in 51 points. Yeah, I can't say I'm too happy. I think first things first. I think the main disappointments are probably Spurs and Arsenal. To be honest, I think I'll go through teams instead of players, because as I showed you guys in my free hit team selection, I'm basically tripping up in the best fixtures and the best players. So I think it's best to start with Arsenal because I've just watched that game, and I think first things first, Tierney being out the squad. Initially, when Tierney was left out, I was like, okay, Powers can probably nick a goal here to nullify the holding clean sheet. Mari didn't play, so if you put him in, you didn't get the points. And I don't think a lot of people would have put Bellerin in either. So I was kind of like, okay, it's probably not the end of the world. But when watching the game, Arsenal needed Tierney so badly. Maitland-Niles did not play well, and Saka didn't get much job when he went to left back. So Tierney was a massive loss, and there was so many times in that game that if Tierney was on the pitch, he could have had 2 or 3 assists. And Tierney was exactly the player Arsenal needed for this game because of the way Palace were playing. So I'm a bit disappointed not to have him. Obviously, there's a reason why I have a strong bench with Neto coming on, and I'm absolutely gutted that I don't have the 8-pointer for Mitchell off my bench. And a lot of people who didn't play their free hit have Mitchell, which really, really annoys me because it just means people who didn't free hit got away with it with that 8-pointer. So disappointed with that. Saka, again disappointing as well. I mean, to be honest, Saka's been doing so well lately and he's such a young boy. I would give him a bit of he could have done better. And same with Lacazette. I mean, again, could have done a lot better. I feel like Lacazette and Saka blanking, I don't think it's really a personal fault for them. I think that the team just didn't create enough. And I think Saka's under a bit of pressure. He's been playing so well lately, and I don't think Lacazette played badly. I just didn't think he got enough service in the game. So on another day, Lacazette gets the goal, but he didn't tonight, and I was kind of hoping for my Arsenal boys to pull out the bag to get a stronger green arrow, but they didn't. So again, I was disappointed. But at the end of it, this is only a free hit. I think after that game, I'm probably more satisfied not to own three Arsenal players. I think if you are looking at Arsenal players going forward, it'd probably just about avoid Lacazette. I think there's better options and cheaper prices. I think Saka's a brilliant pick, and I think Kieran Tierney is a brilliant pick as well. I think Lacazette maybe just avoid because he is around 8 million, and there's more areas to spend that money at the moment. So yeah, Arsenal disappointing, but it was a free hit. They're not going to be back in my team anyway, so I don't need to worry about Arsenal for a long term. But yeah, it could have been a lot better than it was. On a more positive note, Man City. Well, I do say positive. I think the defence was expected, and I'm happy. Double City defence, double 6-pointer. Cassell lost the bonus point near the end, just towards the end, which is a bit annoying, but hey, we'll take it's fine. 2 6-pointers, happy with that. De Bruyne captain, he was the second best captain option this week, so I can't say I'm too disappointed. Apart from the fact that De Bruyne takes the penalty, gets an extra 16 points, and we're talking about a really good green arrow. Or Raheem Sterling doesn't take the penalty, and someone who can actually take penalties hits it, and De Bruyne gets an assist, and he probably gets a bonus point, or maybe 2 bonus points. So yeah, I'm absolutely raging that De Bruyne hasn't got more there, but to be honest, considering Kane was only 8 points, Bruno blanked, Son blanked, I'm not exactly too unhappy about it. I think getting the 6 points from De Bruyne, that's what the 12 I'm in, isn't exactly terrible. So, and there's enough there's enough of De Bruyne in that game to make me want to take a hit to bring him in, and we'll get to that pretty shortly. So yeah, City again a 1-0 win, but they could have scored way more. Cancelo could have scored. De Bruyne could have done way more aside from the penalty. I'm going to be honest with you. So yeah, City looking good again, and they've got a really nice run of fixtures. So if you don't have City players, get them in because you're going to miss out desperately. Then Spurs. Well, yeah, I mean, I tripled up in Spurs. Harry Kane 58 points. Happy with that. To be honest, I was more hoping for the Aridara clean sheet than the Kane and Son returns because I was scared of the Kane and Son captainers. And yeah, I mean, there was a bit of a scare that Dyer would go off early on in the game, but he played the 90 minutes, which I was happy with. But again, the clean sheet was lost. I think Spurs, Kane's goal was good. And then they got the goal, and then they just didn't really look like they wanted to score anymore after that. And it's been quite similar to that. I think the only game we've not seen that this season is the Leeds game. And another day, Son scores, but he hits the post. But at the same time, they had chances in the first half, fair enough. But apart from the Son one in the second half, they didn't look like they wanted to come out and play. So that was disappointing. And I think that meant Fulham could keep hold of the ball. And Fulham therefore created more chances, and then Fulham scored. Really good goal. Dyer doesn't get the clean sheet. And what annoyed me even more was that the other most popular Tottenham defender, Reguilon, banging assist by the way, got an assist and 3 bonus points. And he was in my draft prior to the one that I showed you in the video last week, Reguilon. But I wanted to bring Kieran Tierney in. And turns out Kieran Tierney didn't play. So, yeah, I mean, it would have been Reguilon and Holding actually got the 6 points. So that really disappoints me a bit. But again, you're gonna get that after free hit. When you do a free hit, you look at every single option, and I just so happened to pick a few of the wrong ones, and that's disappointing. But it's all good. And then finally, Manchester United. De Gea, happy with the 6 points. And Fernandes, well, everyone owned him, so I wasn't too disappointed with that. Man United going forward. Rashford did get the assist. Pogba scored. Again, I think Fernandes is the only attacking option there for me. I think Rashford, he got the assist, but he just doesn't look good when watching him and as an FPL asset. I just don't really rate him at 9.5 million. But then I don't really rate Son either when I look at him. And I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I mean, Fernandez, everyone owned him, and De Gea covering that United clean sheet as well. So yeah, I mean, we got the green arrow to 96k, so I'm happy to get to top 100k. But again, it's a free hit, so I was hoping for a bit better, but we haven't got any better. So I'm just gonna have to accept it, and we're gonna have to move on to the next game week. I still have my wild card. I think the plan is for the next blank game week. I think it's game week 26 or 29 or something around then. My plan is to wild card and bench boost, and I'll get to what I'm going to do with the other chip in just a moment. So that was my game week 18 team. Let me know in the comments how you did in your game week 18 team. Um, and to be honest, we're just gonna have to move on from this. Forget about this. I mean, at the same time, it's still a green arrow. It's in the top 100k, so we're doing fine. It could have been a lot worse. I could have put Raheem Sterling in. He was in one of my drafts. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna have to move on from this and focus on the next game week. So I'm just gonna get my game week 19 team up. Right, okay, here we go. So this is obviously not the final team, by the way, because if it was, I probably would be struggling a little bit. So basically, as you guys can see on the right hand side, that is going to be my transfer plan. So I've been thinking about this quite a lot, and I think, despite De Bruyne only getting the 6 points in midweek, I think De Bruyne is, you'd be ignorant to ignore De Bruyne. Really stubborn to not have De Bruyne in your team right now because he's absolutely on fire. But at the same time, I don't want to get rid of Salah because 2 home fixtures. Liverpool haven't been playing that well. I expect Salah to bounce back with a few goals. So I needed to find a way to get to De Bruyne. And my initial thoughts were, okay, right, I want Calvert-Lewin is now injured, and now he doesn't have well, at this point he did have a game week, but he was injured anyway. So I was like, okay, who did I bring? Who did I downgrade Calvert-Lewin to? And I was like, Antonio was immediately, and Antonio's to our Calvert-Lewin to Antonio is going to be my transfer, no matter what happens. That's going to be one of my transfers, and that's nailed. Haven't made it yet because of in case Antonio something happens in training or whatever. So then I thought, okay, so Grealish probably because Everton's getting postponed and it's City. So I was like, okay, Grealish to De Bruyne, and if I downgraded Robertson to Stones, I could do that transfer and do the -8. So I thought, okay, I think I'll probably do that because I couldn't do a -4 to De Bruyne unless I went Calvert-Lewin to Rodrigo, and although Brighton at home is a good fixture, I want a double game week, and Antonio's got a really good 2 sets of fixtures. So I think a -8's fair here. But then Grealish got a double game week today. Again, and Newcastle's one of the fixtures, and if it was the Everton one, I'd probably still consider selling Grealish to get De Bruyne in and keep Son for Sheffield United. But because Newcastle's one of the games, I'm really desperate to keep that Grealish and Martinez. And I've seen Instagram stories of Martinez doing gym work and that, so it seems as though he's going to be playing in both of the games. Don't know about Grealish, but it feels like the whole team will be back from COVID, even if players did test positive. And I think whatever state Grealish is in, he'll want to play, and the manager will want to play him as well. So I'm pretty confident Grealish will be there. But if you are owners of Target and Konsa and Mings and El Ghazi and Traore and Barkley and McGinn, Watkins, I'd be a bit more careful. I would keep them in your teams, but I wouldn't be bringing them in. And I wouldn't be bringing in Grealish either or Martinez either, to be honest. Although considering the price rises at this rate, if you haven't brought Martinez in, then okay. So yeah, then I was like, okay, so the only other person without a double game week in my midfield then is Son, and I was thinking about this a lot. If I put Son to KDB with the -8, I'll have 2.1 million in the bank, so I'll have so much money to spread elsewhere, that I quite like that. But it also means I can go Robbo to Diaz, because obviously Stones isn't 100% nailed, so Diaz would come in, And I'm almost even tempted, it says on the screen there Stones, but I'm almost even tempted just to go to DS, just to be safe. And yeah, basically, the -8, I don't think I've ever done a -8 this year yet. I think I've just done two -4s. Um, the -8 does scare me a little because I've never done it before, but actually, when you look at it, I'm expecting KDB, Antonio, and Diaz, or slash Stones, to outscore Calvert-Lewin, who's not playing, um, Heung-min Son in one game week, and Robertson, who plays Man United in one of his games. But also, De Bruyne is getting captained, and I think he's going to get triple captained, which also makes up for the -8. Now, obviously, Antonio's going to outscore Calvert-Lewin by 8 points. De Bruyne is going to outscore Son by 8 points if I triple captain, or even just captain, to be honest. And I don't think Stones or DS will outscore Robertson by 8 points, but they will outscore Robertson, I think. I think Robertson will keep a clean sheet against Burnley. It's just wherever he gets attacking returns. And I'm just a bit on Liverpool right now. Robertson isn't entirely highly owned, so I won't be punished in that sense. And I still have to sell a cover for Liverpool. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So it would mean I don't bench boost this week. And I think with Taylor's injury, Kilman not getting consistent starts, and Adams, he's now on the FPL website back from injury. But Leicester away is a really just difficult fixture. He got his double game week removed from him. So I just don't think the bench boost is worth it anymore. And I think the triple captain with De Bruyne's fixtures at home to Palace and Villa is more worth it. So the team's going to be Martinez in goal with City Newcastle, Diaz or Stones, Palace and Villa at home, Cancelo, Palace, Villa at home, Stuart Dallas at home to Brighton, which by the way is a brilliant fixture. Despite it not being a double, it's still a good fixture. Brighton at home's, you don't really get many better fixtures than that right now because Brighton are not playing that well. I know you're going to say they lost 1-0 against City, but they could have lost 2 or 3 with the chances City had. It'll be Fernandes. It will be De Bruyne, triple captain. Salah, vice captain. Soucek, Grealish, Bamford, and Antonio. So that will be the team, I think, for this week. And I'm also going to break down why the -8 is not just for this week. I mean, hopefully it will benefit for this week, but also it covers West Brom, Sheffield United, and Burnley fixtures for Man City in the next 3 game weeks for the double City defence, and De Bruyne captain. And although Fernandes has Sheffield United at home, but I think I'm still going to captain De Bruyne away at West Brom next week. So I think De Bruyne is my captain for the next 3 game weeks. And I don't think I'm going to change that at all. And then I think Antonio has Palace next week. Then he has Liverpool, but then he has a few nice fixtures down the line as well. So Antonio's a good swap as well. And then I'm going to give you guys a bit of an insight of what my transfer plan is. Doesn't matter whether I go DS or Stones, but I think the following game week, for next week, as of right now, I'm going to do Che Adams to Rodrigo. And I'm going to give my reasoning behind that. It's firstly because they play Newcastle, and Newcastle have been terrible this season defensively. I think Rodrigo, Bamford, and Dallas can have a field day there. But also because Leeds Southampton's been removed from the double game week, and there's talk that in the next 2 or 3 game weeks that game will be rescheduled. So Leeds will have a double game week down the line, and it'd just be nice to get the 3 Leeds players there ready for that. Obviously, if that's not the case, I've got to look at it as Adams is 6 million, Rodrigo's 5.7, and Rodrigo, no matter what the fixtures are, will do more than Che Adams does, even if he's just sitting on the bench. So actually, if the double game week doesn't happen, Rodrigo's still quite good to have on the bench, and when Leeds have a good fixture, I can double up with Bamford and Rodrigo up front. Obviously, if Rodrigo gets injured or something, that will change, but that's one of my transfers I'm thinking of making. The other transfer I'm thinking of making as well is when the Spurs fixtures get better again, is to go from Charlie Taylor to Eric Dyer in defence. And another one as well down the line will be to go Johnson back down to a 4.0 goalkeeper, and then also try and find a way to get Son and Kane back because they play West Brom and somebody, two really nice fixtures in a row or something. So I want to have them back by then as well. But I think as of right now, I don't plan taking hits after this, apart from to get Son or Kane back when that happens. Um, but if I can get Antonio, De Bruyne, and Diaz in, and just get rid of Calvert-Lewin, get rid of Son and Robbo. I mean, I think Calvert-Lewin in general is a good weight off my shoulders. I think Robertson is also a bit of a weight off my shoulders because keep in mind they play Tottenham and City and I think Leicester, Liverpool. So Robertson would be going anyway next week if it wasn't this week. So I may as well get him rid of this week when City have an amazing double game week. And also, just to keep in mind, before I get asked this in the comments or on Twitter or whatever, I can't go Antonio and De Bruyne for Son and Calvert-Lewin. I'm out by 0.2 million, so I have to downgrade someone else, and I can't downgrade anyone else but Robertson. Well, he's downgrade someone that would make sense anyway. If I downgrade my keeper, what's the worth in that? I would rather get someone new, and I think Diaz is good long term, alongside Cancelo. So that's going to be my team. Obviously, if anything changes in the next day or so, make sure to check my Twitter, and I'll be giving my team selection, my final team selection. But right now, it looks like to be a -8 and a triple captain for De Bruyne. People are saying Pep's going to rest De Bruyne. No, no chance. De Bruyne's back in penalties, no European football, focused in the league, looked really good last night. And yeah, I'm really, really confident of a good triple captain for De Bruyne. And it's like, triple captains, man, A lot of people just triple captain get 1-pointers, Triple captain, people always do it or have to use it at the exact time. There's no perfect time to use a triple captain. I think, okay, if you're doing it at home to Liverpool in a single game week, okay, that's a bad time to use it. But you know what I mean? I think people always overthink the triple captain. I think the bench boost is different. You plan to do that. But the triple captain, double game week, 2 home fixtures. Palace is one of them. And Villa, after COVID, might not be so good either. And you just never know how many double game weeks will be as good as this one for Man City. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm just going to do it with De Bruyne and see what happens. And if it fails, it fails. I can't see De Bruyne, getting no returns out of both games. So if he at least returns, it's not good, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you're going to be bench boosting this week. Obviously, I can't bench boost, but let me know if you wildcarded or are bench boosting, or if you're triple captaining. And yeah, just keep in touch in the comments, and any questions for the game week in terms of captaincy or who to transfer in, whether you should take a hit for somebody, because I'm having a hard time taking the -8 hit. It's the first time I've done it this year, but I'm a bit more confident about it the more I think about it. So hopefully Game Week 19 is a better week than Game Week 18. Although I did get a green arrow in Game Week 18, I still used my free hit and it didn't really do wonders for me. So hopefully Game Week 19 is a lot better, despite not owning like West Ham defenders and not owning certain players either. But hopefully it'll be a good double game week for me, and we can move on from this and get back to the single game weeks, and try and push up the rankings. So if you enjoyed this one, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.